Now tell me what you think. Jesus said, ask and you shall receive, seek and you will find. Do you honestly believe that? That when you ask Jesus, he will answer you and perhaps give you what you're asking for? Well, if you treat it like a slot machine, no. Put in your request, out comes the answer. One of the saints actually says that. If Jesus answered straight away, then we would just treat it like a machine. Asking is talking to a person that you love. You are praying. And it's not just a quick thing. And that's why when you pray again and again, and Jesus says this, nag at God. Keep coming back to it. Because he's not going to answer straight away. It wouldn't develop. And when you go on praying, something happens within you. And the Lord will answer. Somebody once said, well, perhaps the answer is no. Yeah, but silence is not an answer. Some time ago, a couple I know very well wanted to have a child, and we prayed and prayed and nothing seemed to come, and eventually Alwyn came to me one day and said she was pregnant. We were so delighted. A few weeks later she came in very sad state. She'd had a miscarriage. But she said, God knows what he's doing, God is kind, there must have been something wrong. I said, you're making excuses for God. No, we prayed for this, come on, we go on praying. And we did. Now later Alwyn came and said, look, Father Michael, I know this sounds a bit silly, but I am just so grateful for what has happened, the way the Lord has looked after us. She clearly was not then just saying what she thought was the right thing to say. Deep in her heart, she had been moved. And the Lord always speaks in this way. Either he gives you exactly what you want, and with great gratitude you thank him, or he moves you to understand what is happening. More recently that happened with one of the undergraduates at the university. She used to tell me about her father. She had a very close relationship with him, and then left the university. But in February I received an email to say that he was seriously ill with cancer, and I realized that she must be in a terrible state. I sent emails back, and gradually over the month she told me how she was, but obviously it was very painful. And then 3 weeks ago I received a very short email to say that he had died. But then last week I received a most moving email, and I'm sure she won't mind me sharing part of it with you. That when my father was diagnosed in February, I was filled with fright, a real terrible fear. I knew he was going to die sooner than I had anticipated, and my fear was that when he leaves, I won't know where he's gone. I know we call it heaven, but I didn't have enough faith to believe that he would be in heaven and would be okay. I asked him more than once if he was afraid, and every time he strongly answered he wasn't. I marveled at this because I was deeply scared. I tried to live each day being present to him, and these last couple of months were absolutely beautiful. Filled with true joy and happiness. I'll never forget them. On the Wednesday night before he died, I had a dream that my father was saying goodbye, and when I woke up I knew it was time drawing near for him to leave. I was getting ready to accept it. On the Thursday night I dreamt again, and when I woke I was aware that there is a place that even if I couldn't go there, I knew it was safe. I knew where my father was going. My father's soul was called the next day. The profound sadness that I experienced that day and every day since is merely a sadness of loss. I'm not confused. I'm not afraid. I know where he is. I know he is safe. I am truly and deeply sad. I miss my father being at my side, but I'm only sad, Father. I'm not dealing with any issues of fear or resentment or confusion. I'm just very grateful that I have been given the chance to understand and overcome my fear just hours before my father left. And she finishes, Father Michael, I'm sad in a very deep way. I cry often, but I'm okay. Jesus always answers.